Hello, you horrible lot. It's me again. Now, I've been told that I got so many more views yesterday than that boring, dingy tutor of yours. So, to thank her for all she's done for me for the past couple of weeks, I was told to come on and give you some updates about her services and what's going on in her world. Because, I'm so much more fun than her. So, this tutor of yours has worked blooming hard, I must say so myself. And she seems to yap on about how passionate she is and how much she loves you guys, which is nice to hear, I suppose. I prefer the haunting and the evil side. She prefers the nicey side. But I did want to tell you what she does. So she offers tutoring, which she's told me that you sit down with a child that's struggling to learn things and you teach them how to learn them in a way that's fun and creative. Sorry, I cannot stop playing with this slime. It's just so cool. And I talked about it, and I couldn't measure out my potions properly, you see. I was getting my centimetres and millimetres all confused and putting 2 eyes of newts instead of one, and putting Freddy frogs in instead of frog's legs, though it did make a delicious potion. It was almost like hot chocolate. And she told me how I could measure it out, and the volatility and density of my cauldron compared to its radius, and it was rather interesting, I must admit. So I suppose that's what tutoring does. And the other evening I felt a bit gloomy and glum, because when Halloween's over I have to disappear again, and no one wants to see the horrible witch just walking the streets, going into Lidl, but here we are, and I said that I don't have any real friends because most of them are dead. And we had a really big chat about friendship and what it means from each person, and how I could be a nicer friend, and how other people could be a nicer friend to me. And she kind of explained that's what mentoring was, which was quite interesting, and she does that as well, don't you know? And then we spoke about more, because her services are called tutor, mentor, and more. I didn't really know what more meant. Normally I think of more sweets on Halloween night, or, more cobwebs to brush away or keep in a collection, but more. And she said this was for the people, a bit like me as a witch, that don't really know where they fit. They don't fit into school and how they feel at school. Their parents might think they're struggling, that the child isn't ready for some help, or they might have different things going on with their brain that makes it harder for them to learn, and they fit into them more. Now, I asked her, how is that different to tutoring and mentoring and helping me measure my content? My brain's different to everyone else. And she said it's not really much about the brain being different, but more about offering a service that isn't there. I said, how can you give something that isn't there? She said, because some people don't immediately know what they need. They don't need a tutor, they don't need a mentor, but they need something. So I said it's like when you add, a bat's wing into a casserole just to give it that little extra crunch. And she said kind of the same thing. So yeah, that's the services she offers. And she was telling me about all her business ideas and how we're on YouTube now, which was another magical app with more people on it. And then she told me about how she's gained more and more followers and people are watching us. So hello, my fans. I will see you again next year, I suppose. And she told me why all these kids had written us these stories and how it was hard for some kids to write stories, which was interesting to me. As a witch, I hated school, always getting picked on for exploding the teacher. But yeah, she explained to me her services and how she wants to help children and young people to feel confident, happy and supported. And as much as it wasn't scary, I could see the power in it and why it would be a good thing to do. So that's what she's been doing. November, she's focusing on one of these films that we've watched together. So she told me that, Salem and Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Hocus Pocus wasn't only the films out there about mystery and magic. And we sat together and watched Harry Potter. We had a Harry Potter marathon. Oh, I need to meet that Dumbledore, I'm telling you. Handsome chap. And he's so many years younger than me. And that Snake, he seems a bit of a character in one. But anyway, we was watching through Harry Potter, and that's what she's going to teach you guys next term. She's going to teach English through Harry Potter. What a creative and wonderful woman. And then we was talking about Christmas. I hate it. The snow, cold broomstick can't fly. The trees with all the lights, they blind me. How can I see where I'm going? And a magical man in the sky giving presents. Well, he always forgets about me. I'm on the naughty list for life. And all I did was... We'll get into that when you guys are a little bit older. So I hate Christmas, but she was telling me, as the Halloween story has become so brilliant, of course, because I was showing up, that she wants to do a Christmas poetry. Now, can't write stories about Christmas. That's been there, done that. All over the media, I must tell you. But a Christmas poem, I can see it happening. Not something I would want to read, but that's the next task for you miserable lot. To write some Christmas poems to be read out at Christmas time. And you've got 2 months to do so. And then I will come back next year and see you guys for next Halloween. But yes, I'm sure she'll be back in a couple of days to yap things through to you. Toodaloo!